Alright, so cool. I wasn't gonna do a CC guide, but a lot of people have been asking me to make one, so here we are and I'm making one. Leave down below how many chrono crystals you got right now, and after you're done gaining your chrono crystals, let me know how many you obtained by doing all of these methods. Also, let me know whether you've summoned for him or not, because not everybody here is trying to get Ultra Super JANEMBA. Some people just want to stack their chrono crystals because the festival is nearby. But on top of that, you can let me know whether you've pulled him or not, if you're still trying to, or if you're saving, of course. But I'm not trying to hold you guys up long in this video. We got a lot of methods to get through so you guys can get your chrono crystals, so let's get into it. All right, let's get into this video, man. So you know, on my home screen I always gotta rep Giblet because he's the most OPM in Legends, but that's besides the point. I also want to point out that I haven't summoned. I'm not going to be summoning. I'm skipping because the festival is literally next month. I'm saving. You see, I've got my 36,000 chrono crystals. As long as they don't rerun a limit break banner, then I'm good. But that's besides the point. You're here for the first method, so what you want to do is go to the menu, go to the news, and you're going to be able to see that there's a raid coming tomorrow. It starts on the 20th, which is a Friday, the 20th of October. World Challenge raid versus Super Gogeta. Now what you want to know is that you're going to need to be collecting these raid medals, and with the raid medals you can exchange them so that you can get chrono crystals. Sometimes it's 700, sometimes it's 1,000, sometimes it's more than 1,000. It really just depends on how generous they want to be, but regardless, it's a chrono crystal amount with the minimum being 700, so that's decent, I guess. When you get the exchange medals, the raid medals, like I said, you exchange them for chrono crystals in the exchange shop, and you want to be wary of how you're getting them. So you need to have the correct bench and use a correct unit so you can increase your drop rate, and you also want to increase your drop amount. You kind of need a mix of both so that you're consistently getting raid medals when you play, but at the same time you're getting a good amount of raid medals every time you play, and you repeatedly just play. It's essentially co-op, just keep doing it again and again and again, getting a lot more raid medals so that you're able to use it in the exchange shop where they have a bunch of items that you can collect, chrono crystals, LLZ power, the fragments, all sorts of good stuff. There's even a message there, so definitely be sure to play the raid. It starts tomorrow, the 20th of October, and you can also get these medals here with the Gogeta icon on them. So yeah, pretty good stuff. Characters that you're going to be able to use: the Dragon Ball Saga units, JANEMBA, of course. USG's there, but I don't have JANEMBA. I'm not summoning for him, and I'm not summoning for the Dragon Ball Saga units either, so I'm kind of in a pinch in terms of getting higher drop rate and drop medals, the drop amount of medals. So yeah, but most of you guys should be good, I guess, but if not, I guess we're just gonna have to tank it and then get the chrono crystals through to the festival as much as we can. If you're over 20,000 chrono crystals, you can't get the chrono crystals anyways, so I'm gonna be doing the raid for the slot removers. But if you're under 20,000, which is most of you, you'll be able to capitalize on this, so definitely be sure to play the raid. Number 2 on this list, we got a battle royale. At the time I'm making this video, there's still one there, but if you haven't logged in or pressed PvP, you won't have the tickets to really play all 10 battles. But there'll probably be another one, given that they dropped the Ultra Super JANEMBA coming up maybe within the next 2 or 3 weeks. Something to do with sagas from the movies maybe, and they'd literally just make it the same way. So what you have to do is literally play PvP with these tickets that you get, and there's specific teams that you can use. So if I show you and I actually show you some conditions, you can see there's different rules and stuff like that, and it even says battle requirements: characters that meet any of the following conditions can be used in battle. If I go to the team formation, right, and I'll show you that I don't have any preferences on, they only give me some weird choice of options. Sometimes it's a tag, sometimes they just limit it to their choice. However they decide it, you got to build a team with only the options that you have, and everybody would have those options the same way, and you'd be basically just be winning, hoping to win anyways, so that you can get these medals and use them in an exchange shop, which I will show you right now, where you can get some chrono crystals. It's not a lot. I think there's only like 300, and I can't claim them because I'm above, but I use my medals on other stuff like Z power, and there's messages and some other stuff here. Because I'm over 20,000 chrono crystals, I can't claim any chrono crystals from the exchange shop, but for the guys that most of you are under 20,000, it'll be very, very effective to use. The soul boosting method, probably the best method in the game that you can use, but of course this is mostly for beginners because only beginners can really utilize this to the maximum capacity. So if you guys don't know, you get chrono crystals from soul boosting your characters. So what I advise you do, you go to filter and you start with your sparkings and ultras, and you can basically just soul boost all of these characters here. You can see I'm still missing a bunch, but if you go to the element bit or whatever's here on the top left, right, if you press that and then you scroll to the bottom and you go to unlock boost panels, you can see who you soul boost and who you haven't. So at the bottom I haven't soul boosted Frieza. He's the only one I haven't soul boosted, which is kind of wild. But if I just soul boost him, for every, I believe it's 100 panels or 200 panels, you'll be getting about 10 to 20 chrono crystals, and it caps at a certain amount. I forget the number, but it should be on the screen. I think it's like 20,000 or 200,000. I think it's 200,000. And if you're thinking about every 100, even if it's 20,000, that's still a lot. That's still a lot of panels. Look at how many characters there are. So for just one character, and you can do it in the click of one button. I'm not going to do Frieza, but I'm just going to show you. If you press unlock all and I just press soul boost, that's all of them done. And this is all the resources that take, all of them. And I'd be getting how many boost panels? Let's see. 426. So it's very easy to do. If you want to know where you can get the chrono crystals, you can do this over 20,000 chrono crystals as well. If you haven't done it, you go to events, you go to Z missions, right? And it should come up here, and it should just say something about soul boosting. I can't do it anymore because I've passed the limit years ago, to be honest, like 4 years ago. But if you're new here, it's very effective to do, so get on it. This one is really if you're quite desperate. But if you have slot removers and you don't care about equipments that much, you're more of just a collector, you can really just use your slot removers and get chrono crystals through them. So what you're going to want to get is one of these good equipment. So the equipment that I like to use is this one here, right? And what's good about these equipments is that they have special slots on their third slot. Slots that have only 3 options. They don't work with a range like normal equipment. So if you see here, their health is a range from 5% to 15%, and so is the strike defense and blast defense, and even this middle slot here. But with the third slot, you only get 3 options, and that makes it easy to roll a Z. So if you get a good first slot, which is what you're going to want, and then you get a decent second slot, right? Even if you have the lowest option on the slot 3, you can continuously roll the slot 3, and every time you roll it, it counts as you getting a Z equip. Now why that's important is that because every time you get a Z equip, I think it's every 10 times you get 10 chrono crystals, which is going to get you a bunch of chrono crystals. I don't know what the max is, but it's a pretty high number. So let me just show you. I like to show for example's sake. I'm going to use this equipment, go to re-upgrade. I'm going to roll the first slot, and then even if I get the lowest slot, even if I get a higher one, it doesn't matter. I got the second highest slot, but you can still see it's still a Z. But prior to that, I already had the lowest slot, so you know if I get the lowest slot after I re-roll, it's gonna still stay a Z. And you just keep doing this and you'll be fine. So now if you want to know where you want to claim them, you obviously go to the missions, and it should show up in the Z mission section in the middle events. Then it should show up in the Z missions. You also get chrono crystals for rolling A's, so it's not just Z's, it's A's, A or higher, and there's a Z or higher one, but I finished the Z or higher one, so it's not going to show up anymore. If you want to know where you can get these equipments, because you need one good one, right? You go to upgrade, and it should be in the ultimate equipment collection. If you scroll to the bottom, there's ones with character faces. Now, not all of them are useful. For example, Margin Vegeta's one's bad because it doesn't have that 3 slot option on any of the slots. So what I advise you use is just the Super Saiyan 4 Goku one that I had. But there are some others that work. For example, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta's. I think Full Power Frieza's works. Bardock and Jiren. But you'll be able to tell when it's a free slot option on the third slot. But yeah, the Z rolling method is one I recommend, but only if you're desperate or don't care about slot removers. Friendship rank. This is probably one of the most useless features in the game unless you are a shallot fanboy, but you can get chrono crystals from doing this. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to change it to friendship rank so you can see the friendship rank of some of my characters. And you can see I have a lot of them 5, and every time you increase a level, you get 3 chrono crystals. Now, obviously that's a small amount, but it's something you can do every single day and gradually build up very, very easily. So what I'm going to show you here is a team that I have that allows me to actually attain friendship rank faster than if I didn't have these equipments. These equipments are very useful because they increase the percentage of friendship rank gained, and it's very valuable to have on every single character on the team, not just the main 3 that you're going to be bringing or the one if you're doing Let's Fight. I will get into that in a second. Literally every single one, and you want to try to get a Z plus like I have. It took me a while to grind it, but it's the Bonanza, so I don't know if it's eligible to work on the Bonanza, but you should definitely try grind it now more than ever if you're going to get these friendship ranks. So what you want to go do is take the characters like I showed you that all have level 1s, and if you have a team like I have, literally one Let's Fight will level them up to level 2 straight away, and that's 3 chrono crystals. And bear in mind, you can do this 3 times every single day. There's also, I don't know if it's on right now, there was a friendship event on. It was on, it's not on at the moment, but there was one of those on. And on top of that, if there's a story mode mission that you can do that literally allows you to get friendship rank pretty fast. It's pretty slow, but it's the fastest way outside of Let's Fight and an event that's going on over here. So Not a very effective way to get chrono crystals, but if you're out of options, you gotta take what you can get, you know. So you should definitely think about actually getting friendship rank up. And there's a lot of characters. It's not just the, right now I think I only have Sparkings and Ultras on, right? There's also EXs that you can do. You can see some of there, and there's of course the heroes that you could do. So you can be doing this every single day, easily confirmed 9 chrono crystals at least, because there's 3 let's fights, right? 369. Very easily getting more chrono crystals than you would be getting if you just did nothing. But of course, it's not a lot, so some people won't be bothered to save up. But if you're serious, you're serious. Next up, we got the first button on the home screen, the story mode. If you haven't played all the story mode, you should definitely go through and do it. It's pretty tedious, but it's the easiest way to get chrono crystals in the game. I'm not going to lie to you, it's not the fastest, but it's the easiest because it's just available for everybody to play, and almost any of the new characters will pretty much be able to clear, especially the early stages of the story mode. There's a bunch of story modes, and I like to actually bring out the calculator here. So you see part 2, there's 728 stars, which is challenges, and if you imagine every single challenge there is about 3 chrono crystals. Let me just open one to show you. It's 3 basically, including not including the bottom one, but of course it's just a quick estimate. So if I do 728, right, 728, and I times that by 3, just in that part alone there's 2,184 chrono crystals. So overall, if you're playing every single one, you're going to be getting a bunch of chrono crystals, right? Now that's not the only part. For every time you clear a story mode stage, not even doing all the challenges, just the clearing it, you get a Z mission unlock. You're gonna see there's a part that says like clear story X time. I don't know if I have any unlocked, I don't, but you can see here clear part 14. There's the challenges there, and then there'll be one that gives you chrono crystals every time you clear that part of the story. There it is, chapter 6, part 14, book 6, chapter 1, and I get 10 chrono crystals every single time. Then you also get the Z level thing, which allows you to get chrono crystals after you pass a certain level for leveling up every single time. And then there's also more chrono crystals in the more legends missions for clearing challenges in the main story. So it's like a 4 in 1 for just playing the story mode, which is why it's the most effective way to get chrono crystals for sure. But again, it's not the fastest, but for sure it's easy to do. It's like super easy to do. Or would I say it's fastest but not especially easy? Either way, it just depends on your account, but for sure it's one of the easiest and one of the fastest. So yeah, take this one in for sure. Don't sleep on the story mode. You can do it now. It's always there. It doesn't disappear, it doesn't expire. Just as a standard, you want to be playing all of the events. So obviously go to event where the Trunks is, and you want to be clearing all the events. Not all of these give chrono crystals. I think the full power battle does, but don't fact check me on that. I can't remember right now. This fierce fight, hero Tapion one, the fierce fights always give chrono crystals, but they're just regular missions for the most part. The original series, they all give chrono crystals. The Zenkais give chrono crystals, but what I want to talk about here is the priority order. So you can see these ones at the bottom, they don't expire, right? There's nothing that says 5 days left. Always do the ones that have expiry dates. So for example, there's expiry date here, but the Zenkai Ultra Space Time Rush doesn't give you chrono crystals, so you shouldn't really prioritize it. This one says 11 days, so it's got a bit more time on it than these ones here, so you should prioritize these ones. The upgrades, a lot of these don't give chrono crystals either. For example, if I go to the bonus battle Zenny and I go to the challenges, I believe they only give Zenny, yeah, and you get 5 at the bottom, but most of them, you see the challenges are not that worth it, and they don't expire, so you shouldn't rush them. And there's actually a bunch of chrono crystals you can get on the right here if you haven't played them, especially on these Let's Head Out on a mystical adventure ones. These ones here will give you chrono crystals for sure. You can only do them 3 times a day, but it refreshes every single day, and it's something that you need to have high character star for, high stars on your characters for. So it's kind of inconvenient, but chrono crystals nonetheless. But the big thing I want to point out is priority. There's literally no events to get chrono crystals right now, which pretty much sucks, except the what's that, the gauntlet, but they made it better. They made it easy to do. So yeah, just make sure you're prioritizing the order. So go for these 5 days first, then maybe go for the hero Tapion, the rush over here, then start working these ways down, so you can actually effectively capitalize before these expire, and then they refresh, and you can get even more. PvP is definitely the most profitable way of getting chrono crystals consistently. It does require quite a bit of effort, but if you're getting 1,000 every 2 weeks just out of the bag, you're pretty much gonna want it. I'm not going to lie. If we go to the ranking rewards here, this season is unfortunately free weeks, but they're given not more rewards. Usually they do, but this time they haven't. I just remembered that they're not doing that. I don't know why, but hey, take what you can get. So after this season, 1,000 chrono crystals. The next 2 weeks, 1,000 chrono crystals. The season after that might be a double season, so we get 2,000 chrono crystals. All you need is one good team and a bit of skill. I got some PvP guides on the channel if you want to upgrade your PvP techs. It will pretty much get you on the ball so that you can rank in the top 10,000. The top 10,000 will be good enough to get you about 1,000 chrono crystals, which is what you're going to need every single season, or you're going to want anyways. You just got to be consistent with it, to be honest. Play maybe an hour a day, 2 hours a day. With 2 hours a day when I play, as long as I'm winning most of my games, maybe I play 15 games and I lose 3, I would end up in the top 4,000. So yeah, if you're just playing an hour a day, 2 hours a day, you should be fine. Even if you're playing less than that, you can still get into the top 10,000, and top 10,000 is the mark, to be honest. If you look at the rank I'm at now, like, I stream every single day and I'm top 3,000, but I do be messing around using teams for fun and whatnot. So yeah, definitely advisory to build one good team. If you want me to recommend you a team, Regen's very good right now, unironically, because of Ultra Super JANEMBA. Universe Rep has been good for a long while. Future's pretty solid as well. Just some free I'm gonna point out, but of course there's some couple others like Androids. I shouldn't actually sleep on them. Androids is tough. But yeah, lock into PvP, man. Lock in. In the same way that PvP gives you chrono crystals, Tournament of Power does the exact same thing. Every 2 weeks you can get chrono crystals for clearing the whole path. So in this time, because the PvP season is 3 weeks, it's going to align with Tournament of Power. So you'll be getting 2,000 on the reset, which is amazing. It usually takes very long to load, so I should have pressed it pretty much straight away. But you're going to see it's going to show you just the rewards in a similar fashion, and you just really want to place in the top 10,000. I'm going to be straight up. I don't know much about this game mode, but what I'm going to show you is people or somewhere that you can get a path so that you can easily get to the top. But the thing you don't want to do is die. You want to prioritize staying alive all the way to the top, because the way the game works is on a multiplier basis. If you die, you lose your multiplier, which will put you so far behind everybody else that's placing in the high rank. So make sure you don't die no matter what. The one thing you want to do is stay alive. If I show you the rewards, you can see you get 100 for certain score ranges, then you also get 1,000 or XYZ for depending on where you rank. So it's usually what you're going to want to place is between the top 25%, which is usually in the top 10,000, which is why I'm saying that. Then you also get chrono crystals for reaching the top. So as soon as you reach the top, you get, I believe it's 100. Oh, it's 300. That's even better. Then there's also missions for playing it. And I usually just play it at the last day when I have all the 25 charges. Right now I have 21. I should get all 25 on Saturday, because you get 2 a day and it always just lines up that way. And I'll watch one of the guides or follow a guide from Pomzo's server or Azdeek. They're like the best 2 TOP people that I know. I think Greenruff also does TOP, but I'm not sure about that. But some people tell me, so I'm just giving you some sources, because I'm not that guy. I know I'm not that guy, and I'm just gonna be straight up, I'm not that guy. But I'll tell you what I use, and it's very easy, and I get the top, I get the 1,000 every single time. So yeah, if you want to know the team that I'm using, you can also look at the servers. Pomzo's server has a source, but I'm just using Regen. I don't advise you using Regen, but it really only works because I have all the units friendship 10, and yes, friendship's rank is very, very vital in Tournament of Power, but it maxes out at 10, so don't go past friendship 10 thinking you're gonna get buffs. I think they get like health and key restoration or something like that. And then on top of that, I also have max equips on literally every single unit in my TOP team. So yeah, that's all I got to say for TOP. Is just similar to PvP, but the game mode is different. Hyperdimensional co-op has to be the most slept on game mode in the game when it comes to getting chrono crystals. It's pretty much just an event the same way I spoke about earlier, but make sure to clear all of these, and you want to be doing 3 times a day. So if you haven't cleared all of them, do 3 extremes, right? So you get your dailies. The dailies are very important in terms of rewards. The limited time rewards, you can get 3 a day, which is more than the usual drop that you would get. Obviously you get a first time CC, but the limited time rewards is what you want, so you can get the maximum amount of dual coins every single day. On the extreme one is where they drop the most, and it's going to be useful in the exchange shop, where you're going to be able to exchange for chrono crystals. I believe it's 4,500 dual coins for 300 chrono crystals, 1,500 for 100, and you can buy that 3 times, which amounts to what I just said. And then once you've done your free limited time rewards, cleared challenges for these, then you'd only have to worry about the extreme at the top. You just really want the chrono crystals from the advanced and the lower levels. But yeah, let me go to the exchange shop. I think I've got 5,000 dual coins. I'm not sure. No, I don't. I must have spent some, but I can't even get the chrono crystals because again, I'm over 20,000 chrono crystals, which pretty much puts me at a cap, being unable to claim, unfortunately. But We take it, man. We take it, man. For you guys, very useful. Next up, we got the mission plan, and I think I'm at a point where I can actually claim the whole thing and show you. Now, the mission plan, you get a lot of CC, like you get a good amount, and you should very much always go for the Battle Lovers plan because it gives you the most amount of Chrono Crystals, right? I believe the difference is like 1,500. You get only 500 if you have the normal, but if you pay for the premium, I think the first time it's like half price, so it's probably like £3 or £4, which is like $4 or $5, and then when you after you pay for the first one, it's like $10, which would be like £8 or something like that. You get 2,000 Chrono Crystals every 2 weeks, pretty much, yeah. And that is a big difference. 1,500 every single mission plan. I'm gonna claim it right now so you guys can see the glory, but of course it adds up if for somebody that's paying for it and somebody that's not. If you want to go pay to win or want to get a bit more Chrono Crystals leading up to the festival, the mission plan is definitely something I recommend. I'm gonna accept it right now. It's something I recommend you actually pay for. Like, not many things in this game I'd say are worth paying for, but there we go. 63, I get all of the 75p, and then it's enough for me to get the full 2,000 Chrono Crystals because I maxed out the plan grade, and that's me done until it resets, which is in 7 days, and I do that every single 2 weeks. So yeah, mission plan for sure. Grab that Battle Lovers plan specifically. Doing your dailies and the daily logging in, you can pick your 10. I'm sure you pick your 10 every single time, but also the daily stamp rally is very valuable. You can see I'm almost on the 14th day where I'll be getting the big 500, and it would be a total of 1,000 over a period of 14 days, which is 2 weeks, right? So definitely do your dailies. They're not hard. Look, clear bonus battle, embark on an adventure, use 10 energies, you get both of these, play co-op or PvP 1 time, you don't even have to win, and then you also get everything, which is the daily missions for your stamp rally. Then on top of that, you get the login bonus. So if I believe I go to status, right at the bottom, you can change it even if you wanted to. I'm not going to because I have the I forgot what it's called. It's like the extra thing that gives you features. I'm allowed to pick 2. It doesn't give me Chrono Crystals, the thing I'm talking about. It's called the Legends Pass. That's it, top left. I just picked my Chrono Crystals on the login, and then the stamp rally speaks for itself. But if you're not consistent, you're not logging in daily, doing your dailies daily, playing religiously, you're gonna miss out, and that's just that. This one, it is a factor, but of course it's not one of the best. It's just RNG. RNG means random number generator, implying that your hands are at the mercy of luck, whatever the computer generates to give you. If you're lucky, then you get obviously something good, which is Chrono Crystals. If you go to the treasure battle, I believe you can get Chrono Crystals from this. Let me check. There we go. If you're very lucky, you can get 1,000. I don't think I've ever got that, but I've seen somebody get it. I think I've got the 100 and the 50 and the 300, but no higher than that. Then the other place is on the weekend. You can get adventures. There's these special weekend adventures, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. You have a chance of getting 100 Chrono Crystals out of them, which is obviously impactful. It's not like the biggest thing, but hey, if you can get that extra, it could actually mean an extra multi for you, which could mean the extra pull for you. So definitely take what you can get. The last thing I'm gonna mention is the shop. The pay to win method. It is a method. There's always someone cheeky in the video comment section talking about some you didn't mention pay to win, but I actually do always mention it because there are some people that want to consider going pay to win but don't know what's the best worth. So as somebody who be spending on the game, I'm going to tell you what's the best worth in my opinion. So for sure, I'd say the best thing is the mission plan. I already mentioned that earlier. After that, I'd definitely go the digger robots. I always buy the digger robots, both of them. The silver one is better, but it costs more, but you get more over a shorter period of time, where the regular red one or orange, whatever color you want to see, you get less Chrono Crystals but over a longer period of time, but it's cheaper. So overall, I always recommend the silver one if you can afford it. Of course, if you want to spend on that amount of money, it's up to you. This deal here, the cheapest one, is like the simple 1,000 Chrono Crystals, is pretty good, and the other one I'd say is pretty good is the weekend sale. It's quite costly, but you also get LLZ power out of it and some other stuff which will just help you in game. But of course, if we're looking for Chrono Crystals, that's what I'd go for. In general, the big packs are also very worth it, but I don't imagine you're trying to spend a stupid amount, and if you was trying to spend a stupid amount, you would have already done it anyways, so you're not really worried about whole value anyways, you know. But yeah, just stick to the mission plan, the digger robots. I'd say those two. would pretty much keep you safe and get you in a consistent amount of chrono crystals without just banking on the shop. You're just sitting there letting it auto come in type thing. But yeah, that's going to be the end of the video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video, man. I do this pretty much every time a hype unit comes out. Somebody asked me, like I said, I wasn't gonna do it, but hey, gotta feed the people, man. Gotta feed the people. So press the subscribe button. We are on this grind to 75,000 subscribers. We're very close to 70,000 subscribers, like 400 off at the time of making this video. So if you're new here, you know what to do here. Make sure to press that red button, man. But I appreciate you guys for watching. My name's Zakashi, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one, man.